All right, so I just got out of a screening of Obsession, and I just had to make a video about this amazing movie. I just as a setup for how I ended up watching this movie, I went at 11:35 in the morning because my wife was at work and I don't think she would have liked that movie. She's not really big into horror movies. And so I wanted to see it. I probably am very late to the bandwagon of this movie. I just have been jaded so many times by the people hyping up movies and telling me how good they are, and me going to see them night one and just being extremely disappointed. And so I decided the best way to do this would probably just be to wait it out and see if the reviews continued to be good as general audiences attended. And I cannot believe how amazing this movie was. This was one of, if not the most incredible horror movie I'd ever seen. I was trembling with fear coming out of the theater. It was the most surreal experience to be in that movie, just lit with fog and with shadows and with darkness and with humidity you could feel through the screen. And just to walk out to the bright afternoon sun of 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday was a crazy experience. But I cannot sing the praises for this movie enough. I cannot believe the amazing performances. I can't believe the amazing story. I cannot believe the writing. I can't believe the creativity. I just am in a state of disbelief, and I just had to talk about this movie. And I put some sports highlights across this just in case you aren't a big movie fan or an Obsession fan. At least you get to see some obscure highlights from maybe some of your favorite teams. So after calling my best friend and hashing it out and talking about some of my favorite things, I had to write down some notes so I didn't forget to talk about these things. But I first have to talk about how funny this movie was, first and foremost. I know you'll think that's probably insane because of some of the scenes in this movie, but I was dying for a good chunk of this movie. Ian, Bear's best friend, is hilarious. He killed me. Whenever he was on the screen, I just loved being around him. It was a good hang with Ian. Bear didn't know what he had in such a good friend. But I just thought the jokes were hilarious. And if you didn't already see the title, there is going to be spoilers in this movie. So be warned if you don't want to be spoiled for this movie. It's been out for a couple months and you should go see it. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Come back to this. But spoiler alert, here's the line for spoilers. The scene where he wishes, or Bear is just pleading with him to wish for his wish to be undone, selfishly I'd say, and he wishes for $1 billion, and then to follow up with the dramatic conclusion of the movie where Bear is literally fighting for his life against Nikki, and Ian's on the door, just banging on the door, saying, "Dude, I got $1 billion, it's real." I just couldn't believe how funny that was. I just was cracking up laughing. Some of the body humor from Nikki was hilarious. She was absolutely terrifying. She was just frightening on every scene. But at the same time, she was so funny. Just to be able to snap back between trying to act like a normal person under the insanity that she was actually doing as she was being possessed by the willow tree or the willow branch or the wishing willow, whatever you want to call it. It was just so funny. But I just wanted to go through a couple scenes that I had written down on my notes. The first scene of when Nikki comes in and is starting to come on to Bear and wants to stay at his place and freaks out when they first kiss. Awesome. The scene where it shows them being in a happy relationship for, I assume, a couple days or whatever, where it kind of montages through. I love that scene. I thought it was so well cut. The scene of the morning, the scene of 3 a.m. with her, with Bear waking up in the corner and seeing her standing there in the corner, it will go down as the scariest horror movie scene I've ever seen in my life. I was trembling with fear as soon as I saw her outline in the corner, just the movement of her to come into the screen. And just oh my gosh, the body acting from her, it blew me away. I thought that there had to have been some digital enhancement when she just made these absolutely despairing faces when she was describing her dreams in the corner of the room. It was incredible. She was incredible. That most of the scenes with her go down as some of my favorite scenes in the movie. The scene of when she's in the party and they're playing their Jenga dare game and she gets her dare or whatever and she reads the writing. Oh my gosh, what just heart-wrenching writing. It was an incredible little piece of, it was like I would have read the book. The book would be more disturbing than anything I've ever read in my life. But the story about, like, I guess it was Hansel and Gretel or something about the candy shop, and oh my gosh, talking about the being inside of someone, I couldn't believe it. It was incredible. The scene of seeing the duct tape in the morning, oh my gosh, it was great reveal and great setup. And then the scenes with the other girl, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, that actually liked Bear, talking about college, and the scenes between them, I just thought were so great. I wish Bear had been a better person and had been able to get a chance with her. That would have been a great movie to explore in its own right, but it definitely wouldn't deserve to be explored in the context of this movie. But I loved her on the screen. I thought she was a very lovable character, and I could definitely see how the reasons why Bear wanted to hang out with her. And then just the final climactic scene of Bear running just terrified through the stores, him running back to his buddy, trying to get him the wish, back to Nikki, seeing her in the state that she had left things, and just the climax of him just being an absolute coward towards the end. Just great filmmaking. And so, a couple more notes. I love the bait and switch of introducing the concept of there being a gun in their place of work, and with whatever the dude who put it in the place of work, as well as putting the cat, both acting like Chekhov's gun, both the cat as well as the actual gun that we couldn't see off screen. Great work. The incredible performance of Nikki, I already went over that. Just the watching you sleep scene, I cannot believe that. My big statement that I wanted to make is the slam dunk, we have arrived style of Curry Parker. He is like having the biggest trade in sports being announced by someone you've never heard of. It's like if I were to get hold of information of the Myles Garrett trade to Los Angeles before Adam Schefter did, and I announced it to the world. It's just an absolute power move and it just shows how Gen Z is going to continue to make just incredible films. And coming off of that, it struck me in the same way that I hear people talk about the emergence of Quentin Tarantino and Paul Thomas Anderson and David Fincher, etc. in the 90s. I'm sure I'm missing some names, but I'm calling my shot now. These are our Tarantinos and PTAs and Finchers. Curry Barker and Kane Parsons just speak the language of people my age. They pick incredible music. Let's take a side tangent on the music. Hearing Current Joys and Surf Curse and other songs I can't bring up the top of my head in these scenes, it was like seeing your best friend on TV. You love your best friend and knew they were great, but you had no idea that the world would be interested enough in them to put them on TV. They were amazing. I love the song choices, and it's another sign that people my age are about to make just some crazy movies. I love the subtlety of meme culture that was slipped into the story. It was fantastic. It wasn't hitting you over the head with it, but first meme that I saw was the decision to put Bear in his grandmother's house and just having these just little pieces of each one of our grandmas littered out throughout the set. Just these old chairs, non-digital TV, VCRs and DVD players, the stack of dolls or whatever grandmas put in those circular containers that Nikki was hiding behind while she was watching Bear sleep. It was like, it's how a bunch of us feel, is that we're born into this weird world and we kind of live amongst the crazy things that the people before us have created. It's just this scattering of dolls and scattering of movies and books and things that we don't quite understand because we weren't there during these periods, and they just litter the house and just give it such a personality and a meme kind of feel to all of us who romanticize those times that we slept over at our grandmother's house and the relative safety that we felt at our grandma's house, but also a haunting feeling of dread just because it was a place that was so outside of our time and frame of reference. And it was always poorly lit, and the darkness and shadows always felt like there was something behind it. But it was grandma's house, so you thought it would be friendly, and it just wasn't the case. Along with that, the including of the mourning dove sounds throughout the movie, just another hit of just nostalgic and things we wish we could go back to, but they also have a haunting feeling about them. Like we enjoy them, but we really shouldn't, because why are we enjoying this haunting melody of a bird so much? And then just to wrap it up, the overall message of this movie just spoke to me, and I'm sure to so many others my age. This was a story about the state of the world handed to us, kind of like I mentioned about your grandmother's house. The effect of movies on our parents, the effect of the movies that our parents had that we watched them watch, and our movies that we had growing up and that raised us. It was a story of our first love and why that won't work in this era that we've grown up in. The movie was extremely funny. It was a perfect encapsulation to the numbness we feel to so many of the bizarre things that go on on a daily basis in our world. I mean, the comedy that was occurring at the same time as Nikki was just doing these horrendous things because of her possession is just the contrast of us just laughing because there is no other reaction, just the absurdity that we go through every day. Just to wrap up, I just can't believe how awesome this was. I was blown out of the water by this movie, and I definitely am going to watch it again. Hopefully not alone, with some friends that I can enjoy this masterpiece with. I will be the first butt in the first seat for the next both Kane Parsons and Curry Barker movies. They both have just impressed me in a way that I never thought I would be impressed. My love of movies has just been regenerated, and I recommend that anyone who likes horror movies go and see this. It was incredible. But anyway, that's all the thoughts I had. Go see it. Great movie. Like and subscribe. Thanks. See ya.